What's going on? We back, Motor City Sports Talk. One more time for the one time. This afternoon, and I'm reading reports that the battle was heating up between Deshawn Shead and Teez Tabor for the second quarterback position opposite of Darius Slay. Nevin Lawson is getting phased out, like I told guys before. Nevin Lawson is not even going to be competitive for the second starting cornerback position. He's just a depth guy. He's going to probably slide into the nickel. But if it's close, in my opinion, it got to go to Teez Tabor. I think he got more upside than Shead. I think Shead is 28, Tabor's in the early 20s. And I just think Tabor's ceiling is higher, but they said Shead is forcing turnovers, and that might separate them. But it's hard to tell because it's still so early in camp, and I think both are going to improve. But like I said, Marvin Jones is just baptizing the whole secondary right now. He's looking like an animal, but yeah, that's just gonna make both of these guys better. And if it is close, at least you got two starting caliber corners, and also you got a guy that started before Nevin Lawson, giving you depth. So that's depth, especially if they starting caliber guys, which I think both can be by the end of camp. Both mimic, both mirror each other in physical traits. Tabor's about 6 foot long. Shead is about 6'2", long and physical, kind of built more like a safety-ish. But I'm like, if it's close, man, I just always like to go with the younger guy that got more potential. As long as he's not making those boneheaded mistakes, and because eventually he'll get better. He'll learn the veteran tricks of the trade and get better. So that's kind of where my train of mind is at right now. They both kind of hip and hip. I've seen a report where they say Shead is winning clearly. Obviously, that didn't have any validity from what I'm hearing. I heard it's still close, and obviously it's going to be close while they're early in camp. We didn't even have a full week. We just came up on a full week of camp, I believe. So they're going to keep grinding. You're going to see when the game time come on. Obviously, Shead got more experience. He played a little bit more last season and been in the league a little bit longer than Tabor. But to me, it wouldn't be an upset if Tabor didn't start this year. You know what I'm saying? For corners, it typically takes 2 or 3 years for them to actually stand out in the league. You have your Marcus Peters where he comes in and make a splash like nobody's seen before. But for Reeves, it took a couple years for Reeves. You got your Deion prime time. You got special corners, but it takes time. You know what I'm saying? Darius Slay didn't hit the runway running either. They play a lot of zone when he first came to Detroit, and he was a man corner, so he had to learn to play zone. He eased his way on in, and he's an all-pro corner now. So just because a corner and a tight end position, those two positions are tough to translate to. You know what I'm saying? A middle linebacker position, that's tough to find in the league. Middle linebackers are extinct animals or extinct players in this league, man. It's hard to get a good middle linebacker. It's hard to find good rookie corners that could come in and do what they did, what Lattimore did for the Saints last year. That's incredible. I think he was an all-pro corner or Pro Bowl corner his first year. That's just a rarity. That guy was a top 5, top 10 pick. That's a rarity what him and Peters did. So I don't want to hold Tabor to that standard. But if it's close, you got to give it to the second year guy. But obviously, it's a long way to go. Patricia said he wouldn't rule out a rotational situation where Nevin Lawson and DJ Hayden rotated at that position last year between Tabor and Shead. But I would just like for them to just go with a guy, stick with him until he makes a boneheaded mistake or get injured, or you just think the next guy better than him. I just like to pick a guy and roll with it. I mean, that's what it's going to have to be. Pick a guy and roll with it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of camp, if it's razor thin, you go with the rookie. You go with the younger player, period. If Shead is that much better, you go with Shead, and Tabor learn again. If Shead get injured, Tabor can rotate in. You got an open nickelback position as well that they fighting for as well. You got Lawson. You still got time. You got depth. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this before I get off here. All right, this has probably been the most deepest Detroit secondary I've seen in a long time. With Slay, Quinn, Diggs, Tavon Wilson, Tracy Walker, Miles Killebrew, Shead, Tabor, Lawson, Agnew. It's a deep secondary. And the secondary was such a bad and weak spot for the Lions for many years. We had a great front four, solid front set, a solid seven. Sue, Fairley, Ziggy, Cliff everywhere once upon a time, Carl Vanderbosch get pressure, but we just have no DBs, and now we got DBs, and we got to find a way to rebuild the front seven now. So it's coming. But like I said, if I'm favoring the guy, it's going to be the younger guy. That's just how I think, especially if he's significantly younger, like Tabor is. But let me know what y'all think about this brewing battle. We on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those information is in the description. Subscribe, share. We gone.